Hi, everyone. This week in Human Resource Management, we explore chapters 6 and 7 in Battaglio. The chapters focus on pay and benefits and performance appraisal. I'll provide a brief summary of key topics from the two chapters here. I'll also pose some questions for you to consider in advance of Wednesday's discussion. I encourage you to develop your own questions to aid our discussion. Chapter 6 opens with a discussion of job analysis. Job analysis assesses two things. The first is the responsibilities and tasks of the position. The second is the work environment under which the duties are undertaken. One outcome of job analysis is identifying the knowledge, skills, abilities, and other attributes that form the foundation of job descriptions. KSAOs drive hiring, onboarding, developing employees, and conducting performance appraisals. Job analysis also supports strategic workforce planning. I can share an example of how this might play out from my experience in UM's IT organization. In recent years, we've shifted most applications we use from local administration to cloud solutions. Consider the implications for our IT workforce. The demand for knowledge and skills in programming and systems administration have diminished. The shift has created demand for soft skills. That includes skills in product evaluation, contract negotiations, purchasing, vendor relationship management, and application administration. Think about how you would lead an organization through a workforce shift such as that. Much of Chapter 6 focuses on compensation. Pay in the public sector comes under pressure to be cost-effective. That pressure creates challenges for managers in recruiting and retaining employees. You'll read that compensation needs to have both internal and external consistency. Internal consistency is important to maintaining a sense of fairness in employee morale. External consistency, maintaining competitive compensation levels with the private sector, is also critical. External consistency relies on labor market analysis tools. The chapter covers traditional classification systems as well as alternative systems. You'll read that traditional classification systems offer the most reliable scheme for ensuring internal consistency. The federal government general schedule, shown here, has 15 grades depicted vertically. Different types and levels of jobs are classified at different grade levels. Within each grade, there are 10 steps. A new employee might start at step 1 of a particular grade and advance over time through step increases. Pay schedules like this provide transparency, consistency, and equity. The downside is they are rigid and may not allow for competitive salaries. There's also pressure in the public sector to move towards pay systems that reward performance rather than length of service. The book discusses two alternate compensation systems that try to address these issues. One is performance-based pay. Performance-based pay uses merit pay and bonuses to reward and motivate. A 12-year experiment in federal government described the outcomes of this approach as less than promising. Results showed that performance-based pay was actually detrimental to motivation and job performance. Yet the numbers of employees covered by performance-based pay systems has increased dramatically. Consider why the public sector might make strategic decisions contrary to what the data shows. Broadbanding is another common alternative pay system. Broadbanding collapses multiple pay grades into a single but broader band. The strategy here is to give managers greater flexibility over pay rates in hiring and promotion. Here is a basic view of the state of Montana's broadband system. This covers about 80% of the state employees in Montana. Compensation includes more than wages. The public sector at one time offered exceptional benefits packages. That helped offset pay disparities with the private sector. Political pressure, strained budgets, and increased healthcare costs have diminished that strategic advantage. Here are some questions from Chapter 6 to get you ready for Wednesday's discussion. What are the pitfalls and consequences of having a compensation system that is not perceived as transparent and equitable? Your organization is experiencing challenges in recruiting and retaining employees. A labor market analysis shows that salaries in your organization are not competitive with the private sector in your region. What strategies would you consider to overcome the challenge? What are the pros and cons of a performance-based pay system? Would you favor implementing one for your organization? Why or why not? For the last question, you might want to revisit the Dan Pink video from week 3 on the puzzle of motivation. Chapter 7 of Battaglio focuses on employee performance appraisal. Performance appraisals serve the purpose of evaluating employees and providing feedback on performance. Employee evaluation has 3 goals. 1, motivating employees to accomplish the organization's mission and critical objectives. 2, tying promotions and pay increases to equitable and transparent standards. And 3, identifying potential leaders for further development. Performance feedback aims to connect employees' performance to organizational expectations. It also identifies performance improvement and skills development needs. You'll read about 3 criteria and methods typically used to evaluate employees. Those are trait-based, behavior-based, and outcomes-based. Trait-based methods seek to connect specific traits inherent in the employee to performance. Behavior-based methods focus on connecting behaviors such as timely completion of tasks to overall performance. In outcomes-based approaches, employees agree to specific goals and outcomes. The evaluation is then about whether the employee achieved those goals. Each of these approaches has strengths and weaknesses. As you design a performance appraisal process for your organization, consider how to take the best of these approaches into consideration. We will make that part of our discussion on Wednesday. I look forward to seeing all of you then.